Hey everyone, danheilman here, and this is going to be another Summoner's Glory video. Alright, today I will be doing a champion spotlight on one of my most favorite phantoms in the game, probably my second most favorite besides Ankaris, Goddess Zoe. Before I begin, I just want to say thank you all that are subscribed to my channel. If you're not, go down, hit that subscribe button, and smash that like button. Doesn't cost you anything. It would greatly help out my channel. Alright, let me make myself a little bit smaller here, and let's begin. Let's begin with the skills. The A1 is Phoenix Strike. Summons a Phoenix to attack one enemy, dealing 200% magic damage, and extra magic damage equal to 10% of the enemy's max HP. This is very useful for bosses. So for boss fights, if the boss has a lot of HP, each attack you're going to do is going to do 10% of their max HP, plus the 240%, since mine's booked out here. Alright, let's continue. The A2 is Initial Fire. This is the AoE attack. This deals 250% magic damage, books all the way to 330, to all enemies with a 100% chance of setting them on fire for 2 turns. So the fire debuff does some damage over time every turn, but it also reduces the effectiveness of healing. So it's a pretty useful debuff. It's not the most useful in the game, but it's definitely worth building up some accuracy so that you can land it. As you can see, I have about 46% effect accuracy. And that's only for this ability. Nothing else that she has requires accuracy besides this ability here. Okay, let's move on. At the beginning of the battle, the damage of all teammates is increased by 10%. This books up to 25%. And when it says attack, it basically means damage. Interesting enough, this works for physical attack-based phantoms, it works for magic attack-based phantoms, and it even works for HP-based phantoms. So someone like a Lord of Shadows will also benefit from this damage increase, which is very rare in this game. I think this might be the only way to increase Lord of Shadows damage. So that's an interesting note there. Alright, let's continue on. Creation of Power, the A4. This passive, at the end of each teammate's turn, restores 10% of lost HP. This books all the way up to 16%. This is literally like it reads, at the end of each teammate's turn. In the beginning I thought, you know, that surely that has to be only her turn, because that would be super strong. And yes, it is super strong. After every single of your teammates' turns, you'll restore health on every phantom on your entire lineup. So it's a very strong heal, actually. She is one of the top healers in the game, not to mention she's one of the top damage dealers in the game. She has the highest starting base magic attack of any phantom in the game. Let me pull up my sheet real quick and I'll show you where she lands. If you haven't seen my damage video where I go through this, it's a pretty cool video. I'll put the link up here in the top right. Go ahead and check out that video. But Goddess Zoe actually ends up to be the strongest damage dealer. Sorry, it's hidden. The hardest hitting AoE phantom damage. Now, this is based on level 1 damage, and that is because of this base attack. Look at this huge base attack. 980 as a level 1 SS. That's a very strong base attack. And the skill multiplier is decent at 330%. So, okay, let's move on now. Let's talk about the runes that I have her in. You can build her probably 2 or 3 different ways. Since she hits so hard, I built her just to do all-out damage. Her passive is what she'll use for healing, and I just wanted her to hit basically as hard as I could possibly make her hit. So I have her in Squall runes, which are the crit damage runes. I'll go through all these. There is one other way. You could build her with Headcracker runes if you need more CC. So when she uses that AoE attack, she can land some stuns with that. So that is one other way people build her. They did just change her. They actually hotfixed her today because Headcracker runes were interacting oddly with her. Anyone she buffed with her passive would have the effect of Headcracker. It was totally broken. So I'll put the patch note real quick. I'll flash it up on the screen. And then, okay, let's continue here. So, I'll start with the speed rune. Here's my speed rune right here. I basically just have it because of the speed. Speed, more speed, a little bit of effect resistance. Obviously, physical attack does nothing for Zoe, so that's kind of useless, but a nice amount of magic defense on this rune as well. I used these 2 battle wound runes just because I had decent ones. This one right here is a pretty solid rune. Has speed, more resistance, crit rate, HP percent. So that's the reason I'm using these. And it gives me a little bit more magic attack, which is useful. I probably would have used harvest runes to give me an extra 12% crit, because that would put me at 90% crit, and right now I'm only at 78%. But that's why I'm using these runes. I just had some good ones laying around. Let's move on here. So as I said earlier, effect accuracy is what you want if you want to land that burning on any enemies. So this one also has a lot of speed. So I have some decent speed runes. As you can see, I have 75 speed from runes, so that's a lot. She also has one of the highest speeds, base speeds in the entire game. She's pretty fast. So, all right, let's continue. You know, physical defense, speed, crit damage, HP, all useful stats. Crit rate rune. Obviously, I'm using crit rate. I can't make it to 100% crit rate with using crit damage runes. And I don't run Mystic for the crit chance buff. So this one just got some HP, some magic attack, a little bit of defense, and some more crit rate. So this is a pretty solid rune as well. This one right here, I'm using a flat stat, base stat, which I normally would never recommend to do. But the only reason I'm using this rune is because, again, more speed and a decent chunk of crit damage. I just wanted to get her crit damage up high so that she can do some solid damage. So that's why I'm using this rune. I don't recommend to level up flat stat runes normally, though. Here's the HP rune. I already showed this earlier, but just show it again real quick. HP, obviously, speed, crit rate, effect resistance, and some defense to be useful here. And for the final rune, I have a magic attack base stat rune here. Physical attack is, of course, useless. But I'm using this one because of the additional crit rate and some additional magic attack and a little bit of defense. So that's why I'm using that rune here. So let's look at her full stats. So I was able to get her up to 83% crit chance, which isn't bad. It's actually more than my Ancaris, just out of chance here. But you can see how the base speed is pretty high. So she's pretty fast overall. Decent crit damage, 64%. You know, not bad. Some decent effect accuracy and a small amount of resistance and a decent amount of health on her. So, okay. Let's move on and let's bring her in some content and see how she does. I will begin with Arena. She's pretty good in Arena, but it also kind of just shows you how hard she hits. You know, because mobs in the game seem to have a lot more health and resistance than actual enemy players have. So that's why I'll show you Arena first, because it just kind of showcases how hard she can hit, because sometimes she can really do some damage in Arena. So, and she's so fast, so she gets to go pretty quickly. Alright, so who should I fight here? So Taco was totally broken because he was using Headcracker on Princess Zoe here. So let's see, now that he's not using, now that Headcracker doesn't stun everyone. See? Alright, after that, get some stun on the Zoe when I'm trying to showcase my Zoe. Alright, let's try that again. Alright, let's hope he doesn't stun my Zoe. Okay, no stun on the Zoe. Alright, so now I actually get to play. And I will show you how much damage Zoe does. Totally with no debuffs, no nothing like that. Who do I want to stun? Alright, so here we go. Here's the AoE, and I'll kind of show you how hard it hits. There's no debuffs on any of the teams, so she's not getting buff damage at all. So I'll kind of just show you what happens here. Boom. I did about half health, finished off Secret Dancer, so definitely hits decently hard. And you can see the heal that happens. So every time I take a turn, you see how she heals the entire team. That is super strong. It is really good for sustaining long fights. Very cool passive ability. Very awesome indeed. Alright, I'll show you her A1 now. Phoenix Strike. Doesn't do as much damage when the enemy doesn't have a lot of HP. I'll just clean up the team real quick here. Alright, we'll move on. Alright, I'll show you one more fight. Let's see if I can find someone who's Not quite as strong as Taco. Oh, I just went up now. I want to see if I can one-shot anyone with the Goddess. Alright, get the turn meter, absorb here. Okay, now let's see if I can one-shot Sea Conqueror here with this AoE. Boom! So it's hard. It's a hard-hitting ability. It really is. It's cool to showcase it in the arena for sure, just because, you know, the enemy doesn't have anywhere near as much HP and resistance as you do when you're facing bosses and stuff like that, obviously. Alright, and that's that. Alright, we'll do one more arena battle, and then I'll take her and do something a little bit different. Let's don Secret Dancer. Nice, got stun off. Alright, here's the AoE. Let's see if we can kill anyone. Boom. Solid damage. Alright, I'm just going to try to clean up right now. They're all low already. See ya. There's the A1. Boom. It's pretty hard. Overall, great damage, great sustain. Awesome Phantom. Alright, let me take her into... We'll take her into Wolf Demon here. Just so I can show you how hard these abilities hit now on just regular enemies here. Alright, so she's gonna go third on my team. And we'll show you how hard she hits on a level 220 mob. Or my Sea Conqueror is gonna get a bunch of turns, one of the two. Oh my god. Okay, there we go. Alright, so I got some debuffs, so you can see how hard that she will hit on these mobs, and you also see on mobs that have no debuffs. Boom, big hits. A little bit of lag right now. Alright, I'll put it on auto, and I'll just kind of narrate what's going on here. You can see the heal every time. The animation is sometimes kind of annoying because it'll add more time to your runs. But ever since I pulled Goddess Zoe, I've been able to clear a lot more content. You know, I just maxed her runes recently, and I've really been able to clear a lot in the Demon Tower, and just basically a lot of content. I was able to clear a lot through the storyline that I could not clear before. So Goddess Zoe's been a huge asset to my team. So very strong Phantom. If you pull her, absolutely she should be in your team, even if you can't get skill ups for her. I spent way too much money on the Easter event to skill up my Zoe, so it helps, but not necessary. Even without any skill ups, she is very strong. You can see the damage she's doing. You see, look at those heals. My whole team is just topped off constantly. Super strong Phantom. Look at those crits. Boom. Okay. That's my guide on Goddess Zoe. Let me know what you think. Scroll down, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Smash that like button. Comment. Do all that good stuff. Appreciate it, everyone. Have a great day. See ya.